everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Saturday and it's December 17th, the last weekend before Christmas Eve. Can you believe it? All right, on our show today, we have Becky Lamaka, who is here with O'Connor Mortuary, and she has some great advice for grief during the holidays. We have been running our Your Health segment every week for this month, and she's been featuring a lot of different things that you can do when dealing with grief during this time of year. So we thought we would have her on this day. Then we have the Handbell Legacy Club with Kathy Fink, who has some beautiful music that she uses the handbells for. So we'll have a taste of that as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather. Well, we are looking at partly cloudy skies today, and through the next few days, we are looking for mostly cloudy skies, 63, 44, 63, 44, and then 63, 46. If you are traveling, take a look at these numbers. The beaches look pretty much the same, including the same as Palm Springs, surprisingly, in the low 60s, overnights in the 40s. And then in the mountains, we are looking at the mid 30s to 40, and then the overnights in the teens. And if you go to Vegas, it's 51, 31. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:49, and our sunset will be at 4:45. All right, when we come back, we will have Becky Lamaka with O'Connor Mortuary. So stick around.
My father was a quiet man, and honesty was premier. Prior to his passing, it was emotional. The folks at O'Connor made it easier. They just went over and above and helped me get through this. If you have to go through this process, stop by O'Connor. You will not be disappointed.
At O'Connor Mortuary, our commitment is to serve our community with care and compassion.
Welcome back. Well, on our show today, we have Becky Lamaka, who is here on behalf of O'Connor Mortuary. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
You know, of course, here we are at the holidays. We already had Thanksgiving, and now we have a Christmas time frame and then New Year's. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, I know you and I have talked about this before. We actually did an extended segment on your health that really dove into what people can do in regards to the holidays and feeling lonely and isolated. And COVID didn't help anybody either during those time frames.
It did not. It did not.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of go through a couple of things that I think would be helpful for people who are in these time frames. But before we do that, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the grief specialist at O'Connor Mortuary. I come alongside the families that we serve, helping them with support, helping them find resources available in the community to them. And then a big part of what I do is talk with our healthcare partners on how to come alongside people who are grieving and come alongside people who are dying.
Yeah. And then I just asked you if you do talks, and you said you just went off to do a talk about with military families. And of course, they have to deal with things too. Either they've lost a loved one or someone is far away and they can't see them. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. So what do you think it is about this time frame that really makes people feel sad?
Well, you know, and it could be a very recent death that someone's experienced, or it could be a death that happened years ago. Mm-hmm. With the holidays, you know, most of our traditions are deeply rooted in family, right? And so, you know, you remember things, you and I can remember, oh gosh, when we were kids, our parents used to do this, or we would go here, or we would see this this play or this event. And so it brings those memories back. I mean, it really, it reminds us of that person who is no longer here.
Right. And so what are some things that you think people should do if they are feeling like that? Especially, I mean, I know a lot of people around here have been married for a really long time, and they may have just lost their significant other. And boy, that dealing with that must be pretty difficult.
Yeah. I think the thing I tell people, the best thing we can do, and it's hard, because we do want to retreat, and COVID didn't help, right? We want to tuck our heads under the covers and say, wake me up on January 2nd.
Yeah.
But one of the best things we can do is bring our person with us during the holidays. So find ways that you can have that person there. Is it a candle? Is it making the favorite dish that maybe this person always cooked on this special holiday? Literally having a seat at the table, playing the favorite songs. And bringing that person along. I think one of the things that people have a hard time with is grief and joy can be simultaneous.
Okay.
So we can enjoy moments of the holidays while we're still grieving, and that's okay. A lot of times people think, I need to be sad, I can't celebrate, I can't find these happy moments. And really that is not true in our grief. We celebrate these moments of joy. That person is still with us in our hearts.
So what if grieving goes on much longer than what you would expect? Like for instance, somebody 3 years down the road is still grieving and they still can't move past. Do you still do those same things?
You do. You do.
Okay.
Absolutely do. And really, we never really stop grieving. Most of us do well in our grief, and over time, those edges soften a bit, and we have more happy memories. Tears are the price we pay for somebody we love. So as I say, it could be 20 years, and we still may hear a special song or a special day on the calendar is going to bring tears to our eyes because we love and care about that person. So we always grieve. I would say to somebody, if you are grieving and can't function and you can't move forward, you can't get out of the house, then we do have professionals who can help you with that. It's called prolonged grief disorder. And so, there are professionals who can help you along that path. But most of the time, the majority of us, we grieve, yet we do move forward and we incorporate that loss into our lives.
And what can loved ones do? Because I know that, let's say for instance, you have a younger child that doesn't understand that grandpa or grandma are so upset that they're missing their loved one. What are some things that you could advise either children of the family, grandchildren, or even their children?
Sure. That is a question that I get a lot is what about the children, right? Everybody wants it. And we can actually learn from the children. They actually do really well. What I say to families is answer the question. If a child asks, simply answer the question. Most of the time we don't have to go down a rabbit hole. We simply say, Grandpa died. I'm sad because Grandpa died. Share the stories with them. Share memories. Tell me your favorite memory of Grandpa. And so we let the kids know. And one thing is, kids grieve as they age differently too. So a 5-year-old is going to grieve the death of somebody close to them one way at the age of 5, a different way at the age of 10, different way at teenagers. And for teenagers, that's the other thing. Teenagers, they want to be off with their friends. They want to do their thing. So again, while everybody else you may think, oh my gosh, this child doesn't care, this teenager doesn't care, that's their natural way, is like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do things and I'm going to be with my friends, and that's how I am grieving.
Okay. And let's say that, for instance, the grandparent is in the room, and then you have a child that's in there too. How does the child approach the grandparent who just lost a loved one? Can they ask about the loved one that's gone?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Storytelling is a very natural part of our grief. And most of the time, sometimes people get worried and they say, oh gosh, don't bring up the person's name, don't say. Yet we all still remember, especially during the holidays, that person is close to our hearts, that person is on our heart. So even though it may bring tears, people want you to say their person's name. People want to tell stories. They want to hear stories about their loved ones. So I would absolutely say, yes, let the children ask and let the children tell their stories of grandpa or grandma.
Now, I think this time of year is a twofold system, especially if you are having to have a funeral with someone who has just died, and then you also have the holidays. How do you incorporate all of that?
Well, it is a really hard time of year. I mean, it's always hard when someone you love dies, and I think during the holidays can be especially difficult. And one of the best things you can do is realize it and accept it and grieve it, you know. And it's okay to say, you know what, I'm so mad, I'm so angry. You know, feelings are simply energy.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily good or bad, and that's something I tell people a lot too, is it's okay to feel all of the things. We should ourselves a lot, right? Oh, I shouldn't be doing this, I should be doing this instead. And to allow yourself to feel those emotions, to allow yourself to feel angry. And we call these secondary losses. Sometimes we're grieving the fact that I'm so mad because we were supposed to go on a trip January 2nd, right? And so then I feel guilty. Gosh, am I grieving this trip now more than I'm grieving the death? And we get into our heads and say to everybody, it's okay. Some days you may grieve those secondary losses more than you actually grieve the death loss. And that's okay. Give yourself that grace.
Well, thank you for allowing us permission to do all these things, because I think we do need to hear it from someone else, because we are very hard on ourselves. So,
Yes, we are.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy
Thank you so much for the
holidays.
information, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right. If you want more information about any of the things that we have discussed, you can always give O'Connor Mortuary a call at the number that's on the screen, or you can go to their website. We'll be right back.
How do you comfort a family who's experienced a loss? At O'Connor Mortuary, we start by welcoming them into our space, where families of all faiths and cultures belong. We allow them the time to process their grief, providing guidance when it's needed and listening intently when it's not. We gather the values, the stories, the relationships, and the dreams together and use them to shape the memory of their loved one into a beautiful experience they'll cherish forever. When your family is in need of true comfort, call O'Connor Mortuary.
Welcome back. Well, today we have Kathy Fink on behalf of the Handbell Legacy Club. Well, welcome. Very nice to have you on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, you know, I was kind of perusing the club list, and I came across the Handbell Legacy Club, and I thought, what a perfect time of year, because as you know, of course, the handbell is something that you see in holiday performances across the country.
Well, unfortunately, that is true. I mean, and a lot of times we would prefer the handbells be known for year-round, but at Christmas is when we get a whole bunch of requests to ring for community groups and churches.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
I started when I was 9 years old.
Really?
My father taught me, and then I've been teaching people to ring ever since.
So if your father taught you, then of course he was also taught by, was it like a heritage thing?
Actually, he invented the technique that's used in America today called American solo ringing.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were born into this,
Yeah.
and did you love it then when you were younger?
No, I don't think I did. I mean, we had to ring before we could have dinner.
Oh,
It was
oh,
that kind of
wow.
thing. Everyone in our family rang, and then
Okay.
we'd be downstairs rehearsing, and Mom would be upstairs running back and forth to make dinner, and then we finally got to eat dinner. It wasn't quite that bad, but everyone used to think we'd practice every day, but we didn't. We waited till the holidays, and then we
Right.
practiced nonstop.
So you have an outside group called Laguna Bells, which
Yes.
is a community group.
Yes.
And you primarily perform with that group, right?
With that group now, they've been in existence about 4 years. They came into existence really strongly during COVID, when all we could do was ring outside and do what we called bell caroling.
Okay.
And that brought some of the season of joy to places around here. We stood at the corners of some of these streets and just rang for the residents as they drove by. Okay. And then since then we've been able to develop a program and go to, we were at Towers a while ago.
Okay, all right, excellent. Now, a Handbell Legacy Club is something that you are hoping to start here. I mean, you have people who are interested. It's been around for a bit, but you need more people.
Well, what the Handbell Legacy Club, it's the best club to belong to because it has no dues, no membership dues, no officers hardly. I mean, what we do mainly is to advertise upcoming handbell ringing events that people can attend outside of the community. Okay. And it doesn't even have to do with us. It has to do with all the groups in the area that are doing Christmas performances, doing Veterans Day performances like that. And we let the people that are interested in handbells, they sign up with an email, and we just send out a blast to them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So,
Yeah.
so then they would know where you are performing, and you do perform in a variety of different places that are locally.
We do. We're performing this year at the church at Saddleback Church here in Clubhouse 5, and we'll be doing some other performances with community groups.
Okay, excellent. Now, of course, you said it's primarily known around the holidays. However, if you would like it to be known throughout the year, what are some other performances that you would do?
Well, we do an Americana performance.
Oh, okay.
So that's popular, during Memorial Day and in July.
Okay.
Where we do a lot of patriotic songs.
Okay, excellent. So tell me a little bit about the handbells themselves. I mean, of course, we're probably very familiar with regular bells, but why are these different?
These are different because they have a clapper on the inside that rings in only one direction.
Ah,
So your
okay.
school bell, you can go like this and you can get a sound.
Right.
This bell, you have to overpower that spring at the bottom in order to get a sound.
Okay.
So if I was to ring it straight on, you'll have a sound, and it has different sounds depending which way the bell is tilted.
Ah.
If I turn the bell like this,
Okay.
I can ring it all day long and it will never ring.
Oh, interesting.
So this is what makes an English handbell. People used to get confused to why they were called English handbells, but the English first invented this clapper spring mechanism.
Okay.
And that what makes an English handbell instead of your Swiss bells or your old school bells.
Okay. Now, you did say that you would have different sounds come out depending on how you hold it. Can you show me that again? Show me like a different sound.
Well, you can do a thumb damp. You can do if I had pads, you can do it into the table to make a very strong. You can do a harsh.
Well, it's got
Ring.
quite an echo too.
It's called a reverberation, yeah. Almost like a vibrato in a human's voice or something.
Okay.
It can last long or short. You can do a ring touch. You can do a swing, which is most cherished or is most desired when you listen to bells, because you don't want them to be. This is a percussive instrument. It's like a piano. You strike the chord and it dies. And you know how some piano players, you just want to sit there and listen forever, and
Yeah.
others you're going, when is this over? And it can be the same thing with handbells.
Okay.
So if you are going to ring it beautifully, you want to get that sound that kind of
Yeah.
goes out to
it
you
sounds
in a
so
wave.
elegant.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, these being different from school bells are very expensive.
Ah,
And you don't want to drop them
right.
because that could crack the bell, and that could be expensive.
And you don't want to touch them either, because I know you have little gloves here.
I have the gloves sitting
because
here.
it requires you to polish.
It requires me to polish, and I'm just too lazy to polish, so that's why I wear gloves all the time.
Now, what's the smaller one?
The smaller one is just a different. Each bell has to have has a letter on it which corresponds to the note on the piano.
Okay.
This is like G just above middle C. This is E quite a bit higher, and it's just a higher note. So when you have bells in a line, you have the whole piano keyboard.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I
okay.
have like. I play on 37 bells when I play a solo, but with the group that I ring with, I think we're up to about 43 bells.
43 bells. So
Yeah.
you would have that many bells in front of you.
In front of us.
And you have to know which one to
know
choose.
which one to pick up.
Oh, wow,
That's
that's a
where
lot.
it gets tricky.
Yeah, I
That's
bet.
how it gets us.
I bet. But you've been doing this for quite some time.
Yes.
So did you keep it up all of those years, or did you take
I
a break?
took some breaks,
Okay.
raising kids and going to college and stuff.
And you
I
didn't
took
make them do
breaks.
the handbells before dinner.
No, I did not make my children do that. Actually, neither of my children grabbed onto the handbell thing, but
Sure.
their grandchildren have. So.
Oh, no, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, at
Yeah.
least you can keep it in the family somewhat and still enjoy it. So we're going to take a look at one of your performances where you are doing the handbells with, it sounds like an orchestra.
It does.
All right, let's take a look at that. That was just awesome. Now, you mentioned that you do it here locally at Saddleback and some other community events. I would imagine you guys are pretty busy, the whole group, right?
Yeah, the whole group is very busy during
Okay.
December.
Okay.
So you can't really join a handbell group if you want to have all that family time in December because we're out a
You're
lot.
busy. You're out
Yeah.
there busy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's excellent. So then, if somebody was interested, what would they need to be able to do to participate with you?
Count to 4.
Count to 4.
Yeah, because I can teach measures, I can teach which hand to take up the bells, I can teach you where to look for on the music.
Okay.
But if you can't count to 1, at least 4, then for the measure I have a hard time telling you to come in 2 or telling you
Yeah.
to come in 1.
But they wouldn't necessarily have to know everything about the piano or everything about notes or anything like that.
Actually, the best handbell ringers are often percussionists because they have rhythm and they know
Okay.
exactly when to come in.
I think that's exciting. So,
Yeah.
of course, if anyone's
Yeah.
interested, they can always get in touch with you.
Right.
We've got a phone number and also an email if they wanted to get in touch with you regarding this, because it's so very interesting, and that's why I wanted you to come on, because I really wanted to see it. Now, of course, we have been showing you doing your performance. How did that come about?
My solos, because as I was the youngest in the family, and as everybody else went off to college, one year the TV people called and said, hey, we want to have your family on here ringing bells, which is what we used to do. And I was the only one left at home. My dad says, well, I only have one daughter left and she can do solos. And I said, bring her on. And so
Okay.
that's kind of how I got started in solos from then on.
I love
For
it.
a long time. I did want to put in a request.
Yes.
I have, as you know, handbells take a big footprint. I mean, you need tables, you need pads, you need covers, you need music, you need folders, you need light stands, and I
Right.
have all of that.
Yes.
But I don't have a rehearsal space.
Ah.
So in order to, I've had many people come up to me and want to start a handbell group here in Laguna Woods Village.
Yes.
And I'd love to accommodate that, but I need a rehearsal space.
Ah.
So if anyone has any good ideas, or a local venue or a church that would want to resurrect or even start a handbell program,
Yeah.
I have the ringers even. I have people.
Right.
I just don't have a rehearsal space
don't have a
to
rehearsal
have a
space.
big group for here.
All right, perfect. Well, hopefully someone will come forward with that information. You can have
And
everybody
we'll
join
start
in.
a group here at Laguna Woods Village.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you again. Very
Thank
nice
you
to
for
meet you.
inviting me. Bye.
And of course, as we mentioned, you can always get in touch with Kathy at the phone number that's on your screen, or you can send her an email, and maybe you'll have a rehearsal space and you can be a part of the Handbell Legacy Club. We'll be right back.
Did you hear the big news? The FDA announced the over-the-counter hearing aid program. It's been 6 years in the making. And what does that mean to you if you wear hearing aids, or if you're thinking about wearing hearing aids for the first time? Most people are asking themselves, what is an over-the-counter hearing aid? Would it work for me? Where do I get them to try? How much do they cost? For over 40 years, Advanced Ear Care has been helping answer questions just like this. Call us today and find out more. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Our movie for today is called The Music Never Stopped, and you can catch that today at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles, and that is brought to you by Hogue. Now, New Year's is coming up not too far from now, and I just wanted to let you know that there are 2 different celebrations that you can do. Saturday, December 31st at the Performing Arts Center at 7:30 in the evening, and that is have all sorts of different kinds of things. And then the second one is a performance, and that's called Rockin' New Year's Eve, and that's December 31st, where you can ring in the ear with music by Stone Soul. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather. It's going to be partly cloudy for the next few days, and into the week, we are looking at temperatures in the 60s, 63-44, 63-43, and 63-46. And then if you are traveling, take a look at these numbers. The beaches are chilly, mostly in the 63s with the overnights and the 40s. And then the mountains are 39-11, 40-16, 35-10, and Las Vegas 51-31. We'll be back again on Monday right here on Village Television at 9 a.m. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bobby Awadala here at Skin Credible Dermatology, and our goal is to turn back time naturally and beautifully.
My experience with Skin Credible has been incredible. Dr. Bobby made a suggestion to use Botox or Xeomin, and it turned out beautifully. I'm very happy with the results.
We know you'll love Skin Credible so much once you try it. We're willing to offer new patients their first treatment at $6 per unit. So give us a call or visit our website so we can start that journey.